we'll just put access wire in there. So now you see that it shows access wire on this diagram. Now, if I've got single door controllers throughout the facility as well, I'm going to use the same icon, and you can do this a couple of ways. The typical way is you utilize the single door or double door icon. That's just identifying the type of door. So I've obviously got a single door here. I've got a single door here that I may want to control. And then let's say I've got a double door on the front of the building I want to control. And let's say these are not connected back to the 8-door controllers. Many other doors are. These are going to utilize single door controllers. So then I come down to ACS. So this container in and of itself doesn't do anything. You're going to come down to the ACS right here, controller. And again, because that's a container, I'm going to drop one here, and drop one here. And then I'm going to come in and say, oh, I also need a door position at those doors. I also need a card reader. And you may build this door out with all the hardware it needs. Now, this isn't going to have all your locking hardware pre-built into it, but you can go in and add, if you utilize specific strikes or whatever it may be, you can utilize those strikes. So obviously I'm going to say this is a strike, and just for kicks, let's say this front door is a mag lock. So you'll notice when I come into the catalog, it's not going to have all of those devices. But if you're using SEC or ASA Abloy or whatever it may be, you can just go in there and add the types of strikes and locking hardware that you use into the catalog. And then every time you pull it in, it will be there and available, no different than the PDK product. Now I can double click on this, and I may say, I may just come and change this to Jeff's office, so I know what it's named. And then I can come here to the element profile. There's no element profile because it's just identifying that it's Jeff's office. I come here to the ACS, that's the door controller, okay? I'm going to select a one-door Ethernet, but again, it could be wireless as well, or PoE. So actually, let's call this a PoE. Pulls in the data sheets and product. I come to DPS, and again, you'll notice that I don't have any DPS, anything under strikes, because I'm not utilizing those devices for this sake. Under readers, we do have ProdataKey readers, so I may say this is a Bluetooth reader, okay? And you can name these, so you can name this Bluetooth reader, whatever you'd like to. And then you'll notice if I select this and hit expand, you'll notice that I've got Bluetooth reader. I've got, I didn't name the rest of these, but I could have named this single door controller or PoE, etc., and that makes it much easier. But then the element itself has everything in there that you need. So again, a single door controller, then that would communicate back to a PoE switch, which the node would then be connected to the same network and communicate over that network. Same thing with Ethernet connected door controllers throughout a facility. So this may not be a perfect site survey, but it's a really good idea of what a site survey may look like. Certainly if you use something like System Surveyor or use it itself, if you decide that you like System Surveyor, you can go to our website. These guys are a great partner of ours, and you actually get 10% off per user. So if you like this layout software, just know that our catalog is pre-built into it. So once you sign up, you can download the catalog, and all ProdataKey products are in here ready to go. If not, then you may just utilize your own software and put single door controllers throughout the facility. I know here, if I hit expand, I've got 2 8-door controllers. So then I've got a really good idea as to what my survey looks like. Let me just click save on this. And once I save that, I can come back to this survey. I can come to the report, and I can pull a report. I can add photos for specific doors, etc. On that type, on those types of things. I can hit export, and I can export this to an Excel or PDF. Let's just say I want my layout. Let's make sure, yep. I want my elements, my summary, and my totals I'm not going to put cable path or anything, and then I can click on export. And then it will tell me that it's being put together. And it just pulled up the report, so I'll bring that over here so that you can see it. Passcode. Anyway, apparently I put a passcode on it. I don't know what the password is. That's really odd. But anyway, it just builds you a full bill of materials. But hopefully you can see how quick and easy it is to do a site survey and build out a system. Again, it's that simple. If you utilize this software or any other software, you also have the ability to put in power supplies and all of the other hardware that you might need for a particular project. So let's go into PDK.io. Are there any other questions on a site survey and how you'd put a system together? It's fairly straightforward. Okay, just know that all the product is in there and available. Let's go to PDK.io. This is very important for you to see because it really shows the functionality of the platform and how it works. If this is your company, it may be ABC Security Company. This would be what's called your container or your UI, where you come in here and see all of your customers. So add a new customer is very easy. I come in here and click on add new customer. And I may put, I'll just put BK. And then in here, you would select whether that user has the authority or capability of utilizing mobile credentials or not. So I want to click on yes. If that's not selected, then the end user will not have mobile credential functionality. So you click on save. You'll notice once it's saved, it automatically creates that new customer. I click on the customer, and you'll notice that if the customer logs in and they're an admin, they'll see their platform here. But also you as the installation arm will click on plus. You'll put in the serial number of the cloud node and the name of that. So if this happens to be a real estate company that's got 20, 30 locations, you might have a cloud node or a system installed at every location, and all of those would be registered and show here. Then merely to assign permissions to the admin, you click on plus, put in the email address. There we go. And then you would select the role. So you'll select them as an admin, manager, or reporter, and then click on add, and this won't resend it because, oh, actually, I think it will. So it'll immediately send, oh no, I'm a sysop, so it's not going to let me do this. But if it was an end user, it would immediately send that individual an email. They would click on accept. It would ask them for some other basic information. Then they'll be immediately managing their platform. So let me show you what that looks like. Anytime you click on the icon, it's going to take you back to whatever your main OU is, or if you're logged into a system, to the main area of the system. I want to pull up ProdataKey's platform here. The first thing I want to show you is, again, our cloud node that's here at the corporate office, all of the individuals that have access to it. And you'll notice that you've got Sean Young. He's with Reynolds Properties, which is the property manager here. And then I can click on the building. And again, if this was an app, some of our other software allows us to show you what the app looks like. This is what the app would look like, okay? So if you're configuring it and you're an integrator, you have this configuration tab. When you assign rights out, that configuration tab goes away, okay? If you pull it up open on a tablet or any other device and you're in the web, it's going to be native to that device. But again, we do have native apps for both Apple and Android. So let me show you first of all the real-time functionality. This is very unique. So if I click on door states, once you show this to an end user, they really love this functionality, especially if you're doing it from your phone. So you'll notice that my door is on an auto open schedule and it's unlocked, and I'm using an Asa Abloy Imperial lock set. but here you have no idea that that's how it's connected. So once you use an Apereo lock set, it actually is completely transparent to you and to the end user once it's installed. So if I want to lock that down, I'm just going to click on override and hit force toggle, and then it's going to send that information. And you heard it lock up, and then as soon as I receive the acknowledgement back, then that changes states. And you can see that it still shows me that it's supposed to be on a timer, but for some reason it's locked, and we obviously know it's locked because I've got override on. So I'll switch that off. You hear it unlock, and then receives the acknowledgement, and now that door is unlocked. It'll stay unlocked through the end of the day, 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, it'll lock back up. You also can see any of these. So electrical room, you can see is not only open, but it's got a door prop alarm, so I know it's been open for some time. And you're going to see that on any of these. So again, even though this is an Asa Abloy door, I can open this, and you see my door open immediately, and it's got a little actuator in here, so it's going to take a second to close, but now it's closing, boom, and you see it immediately close on my profile. If I want to open another door like the north entrance, I merely click here and click open. If it's non-Asa Abloy, you can see how fast that is. Asa Abloy takes about a second or so to pop open. On any of these other devices, it's merely instant, so that door unlocks and then locks back up, and it follows the same dwell time. If I want that to open for a specific amount of time, I can click on this expand, and I can click on a D&D. What that does is that immediately negates any credentials from being read at that door, and if that door's on an auto open schedule, it'll immediately lock it up. So if you just have a couple of doors that need to be locked up, boom, 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 you can lock those. You can also put a rule in here to lock many doors or all the doors as a full system lockdown if that's needed as well. I'm going to turn D&D off and go back to normal state, but I can also change the dwell time on this. So if I'm loading things into that particular door, I can come in and just put it for 25 minutes, click on unlock door. It'll remember what I had that set at, and that's going to stay unlocked for 25 minutes and then lock back up. If we're utilizing our mobile device, let me just pull this open. And I'm going to pull open the same system here so you can see, whoops, what that looks like. So I pulled open the wrong one. All right, so again, you've got the mobile device. You can see I've got the same look and feel. So now I'm going to click on that particular unit and manage it. Then you can see that I've got all the same, I probably better pull up my camera so I can see what you're seeing here. So you can see that all of the icons. I can come to door states here. Okay, and you can see all of the doors, same layout that I have here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down to that, which one am I on? I'm on entrance north. So you can see that that's open. I'm going to come into the app and click on lock, and you see how fast it changed there, okay? If I hit D&D here, boom, you immediately see it change there. If I turn D&D off, so if you're wanting to sell to your customer and sell a platform that's cloud-based like this, again, this is the best way to do it. Take your laptop, tether your laptop, take your mobile device. You can log into PDK.io. We have a full demo site. You can jump in and do a full demo of the platform here. You can also come in here, and if you change the locking time, it allows you just to move that and then change the amount of time that that's going to be locked and unlocked for, okay? So this is very unique. Another functionality that you have here is search. So you can start searching and it's a progressive search, so it'll just start finding those doors. You can also search for doors that are in a specific state. So I can say, let's see, door, open, and it's only going to show me those particular doors that have the lock open. And you can filter this anyway. And it's all real time, so if I change the state of that door, the state of that door changes, it will show up in here or disappear. So that's really nice for a security guard or somebody that's managing the platform. Okay. So again, I already showed you how to add somebody to the system. We don't need to necessarily get back into that. Groups are very, very straightforward. The one thing I will show you that's a great selling point as well is our rules engine. We've got one of the best rules engine in the industry, and it's really done by just a couple of clicks. So let's talk about doing a full lockdown on a school or a government application. So if I want to do a lockdown based on number of card scans, I may do that by a whole group of people. So I may say, hey, if anybody in this particular group needs to lock down a door, I'll click on group. I'll come down here and say, okay, I want the executive team to be able to lock down doors. And then what I want to do is I want to come to rules and click on plus. I'm going to create a new event. Now this event I'm going to call lockdown. I'm going to leave it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but you could do a single day, which obviously wouldn't make as much sense in a lockdown scenario. And then I'm going to say, instead of when allowed, I'm going to say if I swipe my card 2 or 3 times, I'll just do 3, at a particular door, then I want a group of doors to turn the lockdown on. Okay? Now it's saying, okay, where are you going to scan doors? What door? I'm just going to say all doors. Okay? If I scan 3 times at any door, or I could say only these particular doors. Okay? Then I want to say if any of those doors are scanned 3 times by anybody in this group, then I want to lock down every door. Or I only want to lock down the west wing, right, or this particular area of a school or a building, whatever it may be. So you can see how quickly you can set up a lockdown functionality. Click on save, and now that lockdown functionality is in there ready to go. And it's showing me what doors are part of that, 24 hours, 7 days a week. I may say, oh, actually, I don't want Corey's office part of that. I click on this. I can come in, just click on Corey's office. That takes it out. I may not want his part of the lockdown either. Click on save. And you can see how fast and dynamic it is in changing anything. Now I can come in here and I can change also any of the other rules. I may say, you know what, 3 doesn't work. Let's change that to 2. Now you can see that this is only lockdown on. This is not turn lockdown off. So you can create cards in here that negate lockdown. In other words, you may have some administrators that are off-site that if they came on site with a lockdown scenario, their card would work. Also a card that might be in a knock box you want to execute a door unlock. You can create those events very easily. You can also come in here and you say, okay, well, what if I need to turn a lockdown off? Then I may come back and actually, you know what? I'm just going to delete this and give you a more typical scenario. This is our actual system here, so I don't want to get too crazy. But if I come to system events, I'm going to click on plus, and then I'm going to put in a system event is tied to a door action or an input action. So you may say, okay, I have a mushroom button or key fobs. We've got a school district that has little lanyards around all the teachers' necks, and they can push those. They found out that having them, they originally had them on their desks, and students were going over and pushing them. I'm not sure why they didn't think that students wouldn't push them, but so now they've just got a little lanyard that they keep, and then they can push that button, and wirelessly it triggers a system lockdown. And they do that by just hitting an input on our platform. So we'll call this lockdown. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And then in here, you would use one of the Rex inputs or another input on a door and just put that input onto that controller and then click lockdown on. And again, select my source doors, which could be all. My target doors could be all as well. So now I've just created a lockdown. And now I can come into groups, and this could be an exclusion, and or I create a new rule to turn lockdown off. So I create the event, turn lockdown off, and again, all of this is tracked. So if a lockdown is triggered or a lockdown off is turned off, all of that's tracked in the platform, and reports can be pulled on that. So I'm just going to say, again, in the executive group, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and instead of when allowed, it's going to be 2 swipes with their particular card, and that will turn lockdown off. So you can see how people and group actions can counter system events, and system events can counter people and group events. So it's very, very easy. Okay, and I'll just say 2 scans at any of these doors, and it's going to unlock all of those doors. And again, I'm just selecting all the doors, but you can select any myriad of doors. So it's one to many, many to many. It doesn't matter how you're setting it up, and click on save. So that full lockdown scenario is set up just within a couple of clicks on both sides. And you can see your mind is your playground on how you set this up. Any input can trigger any output based on any time of the day for almost any reason, as well as any type of door scan, allowed, denied, whatever it may be. I've got some alerts set up on particular doors. If somebody scans after hours or on a weekend, even if they're allowed or denied, then it lets me know. I know of many call centers that will come in here and they'll put a rule that says, hey, this is the call center group. And so if anybody in the call center group, we'll just say from, let's see, oops, that makes it 8 a.m. to 8:15 a.m. and we'll select all days except Saturday and Sunday. And if they, oh, whoops, sorry, I'm in the wrong area. This is if somebody is a micromanager. But it's also nice if somebody's having to track those individuals that might be late to work but don't have time to actually notice, or they may not be clocking in and out. They could put 8 to 8:20 or whatever it may be, the 5 days a week, and then they can say when they're allowed, right, send an email, and now what it will do is it'll send an email or text alert to me. So we'll just say the source is we'll say the east entrance is the main entrance. So if they scan at that, we want it to send an email. And then you'll see the email template comes up, and you can change any information on this email template. So maybe I don't want time, maybe I want the door log, or log events, log results, etc. And then I can also say these are the people that I want this to go to. Okay. I can also send it to other email. I can send it, so that might be going to HR, whatever it may be. I can also send it to as a text to somebody. So now you guys have my cell. So now it's going to send a text, and you can send it to multiple. So you can also send it to emails. You can add other contact methods in here. But either way, you can have as many people in here as you want that is going to, which makes it very easy to track this type of information. So again, you can see your mind's your playground, very easy to set up. Full partitioning in the platform, full elevator control, one of the easiest to use elevator platforms in the industry. So keep that in mind.